Hi everyone, this is Terry and Melanie from Home to Roam, and unfortunately today's episode isn't good for us. I guess it's a learning experience, and so we've got a lot of that to pass on to you, but it'll be good for you because of all the information we have gathered since we had an accident. So Terry, lesson one of our accident vacation, shall we call it?
Okay, so our accident took place while we were parked in a rest area on the Arizona and New Mexico border. And I guess our takeaway from that is go ahead and get the apps that tell you where you can boondock for a night, and don't park in the rest areas or necessarily
in Walmart parking lots or other parking lots, because we've talked to a number of people since this accident, and they've all said they have had problems or have heard of friends and other people having accidents in these places. And so it's a good idea just to invest the $30 and stay in a safe place overnight.
So we've got some links on our blog to sites that'll let you find out where you can boondock as you're traveling around.
And some other mobile apps that we found that came in really handy as well. Also, what happened was we were asleep when a truck pulled in behind us in this rest area and hit the back right corner of our coach. And he was trying to get off and was jerking back and forth, making matters worse. And I think he was trying to get away, actually. So I went running out with my phone, took pictures of his license plate, the damage to his vehicle, the information on the side of his door there. So that's a really good idea. Take pictures of everything, because we found it really came in handy. And also, if they're willing to give it, their driver's license and insurance information. You're up.
And make sure you get a police report, even if it's on private property or in a rest area like ours was. Go ahead and take the time and get the police report, because that helps substantiate the fact that it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, the other driver in this case, the truck driver, didn't want us to call the police. He said he was on a schedule and he had to get going, and I said, you do what you have to do. I'm calling in and getting a police report. So he stayed, and the officer arrived and talked to everybody and said that the truck driver said that he'd been in the spot next to us for 10 hours, which was not true. When we pulled in, the spaces on the right of us were clear. As a matter of fact, the dash cam, we had a dash cam on, but we hadn't checked it. And when we had pulled in, if the dash cam had been working, it would have seen those two empty spaces. So that's another thing that is a really good idea. Get a dash cam, check it before you leave anywhere, make sure that it's operational, and then if you have an accident, make sure to pull that card immediately.
And I think the next one's you.
I actually went over that. That was the dash cam.
Ah, okay. So the next thing we found out was we had to have our rig towed.
Yes.
And fortunately, Melanie took pictures of our rig on their tow truck. Because we called the company up, and they said, no, we never towed your rig. And we sent them pictures, and they said, oh, okay, yeah, that was us. And then they took care of the damage that they had done to our rig. They did just a little bit of damage to the front end, but if Melanie hadn't had the pictures of the rig on their tow truck, we would have been stuck for that.
Or maybe they couldn't have charged us if they said they never towed us. Who knows? But anyway, everything worked out in the end, and I was just really glad. Like I said, take a lot of pictures when these things happen. Okay. Also, we found, belatedly, that we should have had an overnight bags for both of us in our tow vehicle. In our coach, whenever the sides are in, we've got wasp out here, so we're keeping an eye on them. When the slides are in on the back, we can't get to the back bathroom and the closet that has a lot of our toiletries and other items and clothes. And so we kind of got stuck that first night, not having the things that we needed. So have an overnight bag for both of you with your toiletries, a change of clothes, some cash in case you need to tip the tow truck driver or emergencies, that type of thing, any meds, pet foods, that type of thing.
Okay, and we were told that we would have been better off just filing a claim with the other guy's insurance since he accepted liability on it rather than with ours, because now we risk the chance that our insurance is going to go up even though we weren't at fault in the accident.
We were sleeping. It was just standing there, poor baby.
So the takeaway on that is start with their insurance. If their insurance gives you any pushback, then it's time to get your insurance involved. And if worst comes to worst, it's time to get a lawyer involved.
Yeah, we had actually talked to a couple, and she used to be an insurance adjuster, and she was the one who told us that we could just file with their insurance and not tell ours, and it would keep our rates down. So we wound up telling our insurance about it anyway, because it was before we met them. So also, one of the other things that kind of left us hanging was on our third-party warranty insurance. We didn't realize that there was a limit on the towing, and we only had it towed 14 miles, but that came to $1,400, and the insurance only paid $1,000, so we had to cover the rest of it. So make sure you know on your third-party warranty all of the parts and sections, areas of your RV and towing, all that you're aware of what's going on, and get extra insurance if you think you might need it.
Okay, now keep and take pictures of all your receipts, food, lodging, anything that you get a receipt for after the accident and before you're back on the road again, because you can sometimes get reimbursed by your third-party warranty. You can sometimes get reimbursed by the other party's insurance. At the very least, you can use it as a tax deduction for a loss at the end of the year.
And also, one of the things I learned the hard way, I've been going along, I love Amazon Prime, and when I know, we have reservations at our next stop, I just start sending packages there so that they're when I arrive. Well, this time I probably had 3 or 4 packages that I had sent on, and we wound up, how long have we been here? 3 weeks, going on 4?
Yep, going on a month.
Yep, going on a month here at Ironhorse RV, and these guys are awesome, let me tell you. They know everything, and it was a horror story when we got hit. It actually, the next day we got up and we taped up the side and everything, and we took off, and we got to San Antonio, and we stopped to fuel up, and then the RV wouldn't start. And it was just like, oh, are you kidding me? So we called a mobile technician, and he came out, jumped it somehow to get it started, and he said we had a bad starter. And so we got it running long enough to get it to their shop, and it was overtime hours, it was going into the night, and he got it fixed. He got the new starter in, I should say, but it didn't fix the problem. It would not start. And so we wound up paying $1,400 for that, and it wasn't even a problem. Our starter worked. They wouldn't give us money back on the starter, and we had to get it towed from there to Ironhorse RV the next day, that 14 miles. And these guys do RVs from top to bottom, so make sure that you don't send any packages. I got off on a tangent there, but yeah, you want to make sure that you're going to be there before you start having any packages or mail come to you, because they actually went back to Amazon, and then I had to order them again.
Okay, and one of the things we already had, and we recommend that everybody keep it on their phone, is an app such as Auto Assist that'll store all your RV information. And when I say your information, I'm talking about your VIN, how much weight you can carry on your axles, the serial number of your engine, the type of engine you have. For example, ours is a Cummins IMS, and that's not the most common engine. So make sure you've got all that information so that when you get someplace like Ironhorse here, they can use that to make sure they get the right parts for you.
And again, we have links on our blog at hometorome.us, and the link is below to that blog, and it will take you to or explain different apps that we use, the Auto Assist, All Stays, Boondockers, all kinds of places, and great apps to be using. But yeah, that's great information. We had to pull that up, and because I go everywhere with my phone, every time somebody says, oh, I need the VIN number, I need this, I need that, I was there. Also, we started making a list of the issues that we found. Now, when the guy hit our truck, he not only took out the right back corner, but apparently inside there was a
relay box.
And that's why the engine wouldn't start, because he crunched that box and all of a sudden everything started going out. We lost all power, nothing would work on the chassis, just all kinds of strange issues. And we were just heartsick, you know. We thought, I can't believe this much trouble, you know, from a bang in the corner. But yeah, it turned out to be pretty nasty. But along with that, those apps, you can also create a contact in your phone list under the name of your RV. I don't know if you name your RV or not. You can just put it under whatever it's called, but ours is Monty. And I put the VIN number under Monty. I put our insurance company's name and number, account numbers, you know, anything I think is related to Monty that we might need into my contact list, as well as the assist. Auto assist is what it's called.
Okay, so one of the things that happened along with the issues Melanie was talking about from that relay box was our step wouldn't go out.
Wouldn't come in.
Well, first it wouldn't come in, and they got it
Oh.
set up so it would go in, but then it wouldn't come out. So we had a folding step, but we recommend you keep that folding step in your tow vehicle so that you don't have to go digging for it in case you can't get to it in the RV.
Yep. Oh, and that was the other thing, is if you lose chassis power and whatnot, and have an accident, before you take off and go somewhere, see if somebody who's parked next to you or walking by can let you know, give you a thumbs up if your steps go in when you're in. We actually drove that 14 miles with our steps out, and luckily we didn't hit anything. So got to watch for those kind of things that you can't see.
Okay, now along with that folding step, one of the things we recommend having in your tow vehicle is a bug out bag that keeps things like a water bladder, because it turned out we didn't have any
Power for the water.
right, for our water pump. So we filled up the water bladder, and then at least we could still use the toilets. We also recommend you take along some camp sinks. Those will allow you to, with the water bladder, to wash your dishes and get rid of the water and not fill up your gray water tank at the same time.
Yeah, those little camp sinks came in really handy, because you just put it in your kitchen sink. You can run water into it, do what you need to do, and then just pick it up by the handles, throw it out the front door, or close by. So that was really helpful. Anything else you can think of?
Well, I just want to give one last shout out to Ironhorse. These guys have been great.
Phenomenal.
They handled every issue we came up with on the RV. It didn't matter whether it was the chassis air conditioning that we'd been having a problem with, or the awning, or
all the electrical.
All the electrical. The biggest thing they did, in my opinion, was they got our coach running again that very first day. They found out what the folks that we had previously taken the RV to couldn't figure out in a very short amount of time. We owe them a big debt of gratitude. We also owe them a big bill, which will be coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, 3 parts. Yeah, we called all over the place, sitting there and just feeling worse and worse and worse, because we were completely shut down, and people would call, say, well, we don't accept third-party warranties, or we don't know how to do that, or we can't do this. And I finally got through these guys, and Daryl, sorry, I keep wanting to say Dwayne. Daryl, who owns Ironhorse, was on the phone. He's the one who answered, said, yep, no problem, we'll take care of you, bring it in the back gate. And they've got a place they call the downstairs, which is hookups, so that you can stay down here in your RV whenever it's available to you, and then they work on it during the day. And they have just been wonderful. All my mail has been coming here, and they not even call me. They don't just call me to say, come get your mail. They actually deliver it to us at the RV. So in San Antonio, if you ever have any problems here, definitely, they did our aqua hot maintenance, everything. So we highly recommend Ironhorse RV in San Antonio. And as I said before, we have all the links on our blog. So go and check there, and if you're like me and you don't want to write it all down or type it into your phone again, just bring it up on the screen there and take a picture of it, and then create an album for your RV and throw it in there so you always have it. And hopefully this has helped you, and if there are other comments or ideas from any of you, please leave them below in the comments section. Share with all of us so that we're better prepared if this should ever happen again. Knock on wood that it doesn't. But we appreciate any and all comments and helpful feedback. So that's Terry and Melanie from Home to Roam. Hopefully we'll see you on the road soon. Take
And safe travels.
absolutely.